Hello everyone, I'm Quinn Buckland, author of The Edge What Runs the World, Fallen Gods, The 1099th, and Supernatural Pizza, and soon to be Dead Man Walking. And I figured today I would go over KDP and just how to publish with it. So as you can see, I've got a few books going on here. I've got my next one, Dead Man Walking, started, and I just kind of want to help walk people through this, because this is something that I've had to figure out for myself, and well, it's especially easy. It's pretty straightforward. Some bits can be a little confusing, especially if you don't really know what you're looking for, and sometimes you might make a mistake and go, oh no, and not realize that you made the mistake until afterward. And it's good to know what can and cannot be changed afterward. So I'm going to go into the paperback actions, and as you can see, I filled some of the stuff out already. Book title, Dead Man Walking. It's in English. It is not part of a series. Edition number is optional. It's something that, it's if you have certain editions of your book, and that would be much later on, I think, if you're doing reprintings and stuff like that. Your author name, Quinn Buckland. Do not put a middle name or initial in there unless you absolutely want it, and you plan to be consistent with it. I did a Quinn W. Buckland on one version of Fallen Gods, and I had to basically go to Amazon and be like, hey, this is what happened, and it was a whole thing. It's still Quinn W. Buckland on it, and it's still just a pain in the ass. Contributors, if you have other authors or anybody else helping you with that, it's all right there. Your book description. This is probably one of the most important parts, because this tells your audience what your book is about. Publishing rights. I own the copyright, and it's a good thing to own the copyright unless you are doing a public domain work, and that's a whole other thing. Keywords. Keywords are key, essentially, to helping people find your books. You do not want to use words that are basically a part of your book title or the genre. Yeah, I have mystery in there, but if a person puts in mystery, it might help. And also, I just really couldn't think of another word, so I just put that in there. But for the most part, detective, strong female characters, morally gray characters, people do look that stuff up. 1930, alternate reality, stuff like that. Your genres. This is really, really in depth. You can find almost anything. There's a few stuff that I haven't been able to find. I haven't been able to find stuff like, say, diesel punk or stuff like that. And cyberpunk right there, which is fairly popular, same as steampunk, time travel, military, space opera, and it just keeps going down. If you're not entirely sure what genre your book is, look through these, because honestly, there's a good chance you'll find what you're looking for, and if not, you'll find probably the next best thing in any case. One that I'm publishing is a noir, mystery detective, hard-boiled, yeah. And adult content. This does not mean that your book is an 18 plus, it just means that it contains adult content. It contains adult situations such as, it says right here, language, situation, or images inappropriate for children under 18 years of age. It's just basically so people don't think it's a kid's book when they pick it up. And it's hey, no, this actually has some mature content. Under 18 years of age, that's kind of a person-to-person basis, I think, but yeah. So we're going to save and continue that. Save successful, hooray! ISBN. If you're Canadian, you get an ISBN for free by submitting it to ISBN Canada. I had Canadian government in there, but it's actually ISBN Canada. Your publication date, if it has been previously published, this is what you would work with. there is a way to figure out your book's publication date. You don't have to do that. Like it says there, it's optional. Print options. This stuff will determine how large of a cover that you're going to need. Because if you're using black and white interior, then it's going to be much thinner than, say, black and white cream paper. Black and white interior with cream paper versus just white paper. It all has to come down to page thickness. Trim size. This is how big your book is. The bleed setting. This does not equate to. Has nothing to do with your cover. This is entirely the interior of the book. If you have pictures that take up the entirety of the page, then you're going to want bleeds. Because if you don't have bleeds, you're on the risk of having a white line across the pages. Whereas if you have bleeds, that means the picture goes just a little bit over. So when it does its trim, you get the picture right there in the dimensions that it's supposed to be. Paperback cover finish. This is entirely a person-to-person basis. I did one cover as a matte, and I don't care for it. I'll take glossy with every other book that I ever do. There will only ever be the one book that's got a matte. Oh, shit. I forgot to mention stuff. Let's see, we continue all that, and then I'll go back into things. Stuff that can't be changed. Language cannot be changed. Book title cannot be changed. Series can be changed. Author cannot be changed. Same as contributors. Your description can totally be changed whenever you want to change it. That's totally up to you. Publishing rights cannot. Keywords can totally change. Categories, I think they can be changed. I've never had to change it or never wanted to change it, so I don't. It doesn't say that it can't be changed, so I'm going to assume that you can change your categories if you figure something's not quite right. And same as the adult content can be changed if you're like, well, maybe. ISBN, this cannot change. Print options cannot change. None of your print options can change. This entire thing stays the same once you hit publish. This, however, your manuscript and your book cover can totally change whenever you want it to. I'm going to have to re-upload my paperback manuscript because I did change one thing before starting all this. So go to my work, finished work, dayman walking, yeah. Some of this stuff can take a little bit, so I might do some cuts here and there just to, ensure that it's a bit smoother. You're not having to wait for so long. Oh, cool. And book cover. Now, you can use a cover creator to make your own book cover. This is not something that I personally would recommend just because it's very, very stock. You have no real control over much of anything. I'm gonna launch it so you can get a bit of an idea as to what it looks like. Like personally, I don't like it. So you got stuff like this going on. You can add some images and stuff like that, but for the most part, you're gonna get something really stock and really not the best. So, upload my cover, which is actually the cover that I got a cover artist to do. Dead Man Walking cover. This can take a little bit, so I'm probably just going to put a cut here, and then once it's uploaded, I'll show everybody. Okay, so, It can take a little bit for this to show up. Don't worry about that. After that, you're going to want to launch your previewer so you can see that everything is fine, that everything is going on as it should. And this, as it says, can take a little bit. So I'm just going to do another cut here, and I'll bring it back once this is all up and going. So as you can see here, it shows my cover, puts in a barcode to where the barcode would be, and it's got all that. So when you've seen that everything here is all lined up and everything looks good, then click into here, and you can make sure that your pages are as they should be. And frankly, I think this looks really good. I'm actually really happy with how this looks. And this is actually a really important part, because you really want to make sure that everything's looking good here, because if you don't, and there's an error somewhere, it's really going to cause some issues later on, especially people trying to read the book and being all like, well, what the hell happened here? And you're basically just going to be all like, I don't know, that's different. But for the most part, once you've had an idea as to what it looks like on the inside, it's pretty safe to say that what you're seeing is what's going to be throughout the entirety of the book. Because a lot of the time, if there is an issue with the manuscript, it's going to be in the document itself and not in any of this. Oh, cool. I don't think they had this on this page last time I published. They might have, I just didn't notice. But the printing cost. This is actually a really important thing to know as well, because it lets you know how much of what you're charging for your book is going straight to printing. And essentially, if you want to not make money at it, this is the lowest that you can possibly put your book at. It might actually be a little higher, because Amazon itself is probably going to want to take a little bit of a cut as well, but I mean, for all understanding purposes. And yeah, save and continue, and we'll get on to the pricing. Alright. The territories for which you hold distribution rights. As far as I know, I hold copyright, so I have it for all territories, worldwide rights. I own the book. Primary Marketplace, Amazon.com. If you're... Holy shit, I can actually change that now. Couldn't change that before. So that's nice. So, I am going to be selling Dead Man Walking for $15. So I can expect to make $4.21 off every copy sold. Okay, that shows the printing and the 60%. Okay, so yeah, I can only do a minimum of $7.98, because that includes printing cost and Amazon's cut, and a max of $350. Nothing I ever write is going to be worth $350. I can be rest assured of that. Expanded distribution. Expanded distribution is something different. It basically means that large book distributors can make my title available to other online retailers, libraries, universities, and booksellers, as it's stated right there. It's a good thing. I like having expanded distribution, because it just means that it's a higher chance of my book being brought on by other people. Yeah. Going on from there, terms and conditions. I am not going to be publishing right now. I have not even determined a release date as of yet. When I do, it will be posted here to YouTube and all of my other other social media accounts. So I am just going to save this as a draft, because I'm not here to do any of that. So I'm going to go back to my bookshelf, and as you could see before, there was nothing there, and now I have my cover here. And let's get into the Kindle as well. Kindle is way, way, way easier. Because, well, I mean, it's Kindle. And because it's already attached to everything, all that stuff. Oh, jeez. I was wrong. I actually filled all this stuff out a little earlier, too. I just need to do this. Copy. Bookshelf. Continue without savings. I didn't change anything. Continue setup. Paste. I filled out all that already. I've done all that already. Age range is... I don't particularly care for this part so much, because it's not really something that I particularly want to have to try and fill out or try and guess at, so I don't deal with it. So I'm just going to save and continue. It says I'm ready to release my book now, and technically I am, but I'm not quite there just yet. It basically just means that if I click publish, it's going to straight up publish. It's not going to create a pre-order, put the Kindle up for pre-order until I'm ready for it. So digital rights management, enable DRM. What is this again? Oh yeah, it basically means that people can't share your work. Some choose not to have DRM applied to the book. Flip is still to blend it out for a short period. So no, I am not going to be doing that, because I want people to spread my book around. I don't care if I get paid for things. What I want are my books to be put out there. I want people to read them, and I want people to enjoy them. So I'm going to upload the ebook manuscript, which is the same manuscript as the last one. There we go. And launch the cover. Launch my cover. Take some time, so I'll come back once I've launched the previewer, because I've already gone through the importance of the previewer. So as you can see here, yeah, you can see that everything's looking good there. Dead Man Walking, got all that. I've tried on several occasions with actually my last 4 books to try and figure out just how the hell this whole, before bits work, and I figured that it's just not worth it. I'm just gonna figure things out as I go, or just not bother with it and just have everything here work the way it's supposed to work, and everything looks good. So good here. I've launched my previewer. Kindle ebook. You do not need an ISBN for an ebook. If you do want an ISBN for it, then you do have to have a different ISBN than what you're currently using for your paperback. They have to be 2 different things, because they will bring up 2 very different ideas. Because yeah, one would be for the paperback, one would be for the Kindle. If you want to have it as an audiobook, then you have an ISBN for the audiobook. If you want to have a hardcover back, then you'd need an ISBN for that. ISBNs are basically the backbone of this whole thing. Because without this, it's hard to find. It's hard to find you, and if this is wrong, then no one will be able to find you anywhere. But as a Kindle, you don't really need this because typically it will be attached to your paperback. And because Kindle is almost exclusively for Kindle, if you're looking for Dead Man Walking by Quinn Buckland, you're going to look up Dead Man Walking by Quinn Buckland. So, yeah. Save and continue. KDP Select, it's actually a good idea to be a part of the KDP Select enrollment because it just helps you reach more readers. Same thing. Amazon.ca. Yeah, I don't think the primary marketplace had .ca last time I published. It might have, and I just didn't notice, but yeah, there's .ca. Oh, right, and your royalty plan. Kindle is the only one that gives you this sort of royalty plan where you can decide whether you want to do 35% or 70%, and this really just determines how much you're able to sell your Kindle book for. So at 35%, you can sell it for 99 cents up to $200. If you go with 70 cents or 70%, it cannot be less than $2.99. And then up to $9.99. Did I? No, I did not read that wrong. Yeah, okay. So I like to have the 70% sort of thing. Just it's more money. And I am going to charge a grand total of $3. Kindle books should not be particularly expensive. At least I don't think they should be, because you're not getting something physical. You're not getting a book. You're just getting the work. Don't get me wrong, the work is what you want, but the book is something physical. The book is something tangible. It has an actual printing cost to it. It has a shipping cost. It has all these other costs that are attached to it. Yeah, you can charge a little bit more for that. With a Kindle, you can get Kindle on your phone. So you don't even have to really get an actual Kindle device to read a Kindle book. So, I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, Kindles should not be particularly expensive. I don't think they should be anywhere past $5. And it's $5 if it's a particularly sizable book. That's just my opinion on it. Like, everybody has their own opinions as to how much a book should be priced or how much a Kindle should be priced. So don't take my word as gospel on any of this, because I really don't know what I'm talking about. I do. Why is this locked? Oh, it automatically enrolls me. Never mind. I was going to enroll myself anyway, but yeah, I'm automatically enrolled because I chose 70%, which frankly I am okay with. And just like the paperback, I am going to save as a draft. I am not going to be publishing right now because I do not have a set date for this. And yeah, that is basically how you do things on KDP. Ooh, the paperback, I don't know if people saw it, but when you click publish on the paperback, it can take up to 72 hours for it to be published. I personally have never had it take that long. I don't think I've had it take more than 24, but it can take some time. Kindle, as far as I know, it's instantaneous. So what I would recommend is if you have a set release date, plan the paperback 3 days ahead. If it releases early, it releases early. Then it's no big deal. And set your Kindle ebook to the release date that you prefer. That way you can release. That way this will be the official release date. The paperback will have just been released early. Like I said, and as I said before, that's just my thought and opinion on it. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys. If you have questions, let me know in the comments. I am more than happy to answer whatever questions you have. As you can see, I've done this before, so I do have an idea as to what I'm doing. All right, have a good one, folks.